Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Clinical Shares. Today we are going to discuss SDTM domains, that variables and variable derivation. Let's begin. So as per SDTM implementation guide, the domains will be divided into four types. So first one will be special purpose domains, and second will be domains based on observation classes, and third one will be relationship domains, and fourth will be TDS domains, file design domains. Okay, so already we have discussed first and second. So now today we are going to discuss representing relationship and data domains. So in these domains, majorly we can see RELREC domains and supplementary domains. Okay, so we'll start the one by one. So first domain will be RELREC domain. So for RELREC domain, structure will be one record per related record, comma group of records. Okay. So in RELREC domain, the variables will be study ID, R domain, unique subject ID, ID var value, then rel type rel ID. Okay. So study ID nothing but that study ID name will capture. R domain will be related domain. So which domain related domain that name will be captured like AE and CM. Okay. So ID var values. So ID var value always will be sequence, and ID var value will be that sequence number. So rel type will be one to one or one to many to many, or many to one. In this way will come the rel type. So for rel type, number will be there, right? For that rel ID it will come. So here one example. So due to adverse, we have captured the adverse event data for 101 and 102 subject. So here you see for 101 subject, he got fever and he taken concomitant medication. The data will be captured in CM domain. In the same way, 102 subject also got adverse event. So cold and fever. Due to cold and fever, he taken concomitant medication. The data will be captured in CM domain. So for A domain, CM domain, how to capture in RELREC domain? That one we'll see here. Okay. So for example, like AE domain, CM domain, how will capture here? Okay. Study ID will be same like ABC. Okay. Just I kept here study ID. So R domain. So now we are going to related with AE and CM. So first R domain will be AE and second R domain will be CM for 101 subject. So for which adverse event ID variable will be 1. So for 101 subject concomitant medication ID variable will be CM sequence. For that value will be 1 and 1, 1 and 1. So here relation type will be like 1, 1 because he got fever, he taken dolo. Only one only, right? So rel ID will be 1, 1. Okay. So now here see, this is a group of record, correct, right? So 1 or 2 subject, he got cold and fever. So for that sequence number will be A sequence. So that value will be 1 and 2. So same like 1 or 2 subject, he taken medication, right? So for that A sequence will number will be 1. So the relation type will be so 1 to many, correct, right? So he got adverse event, two adverse he got like cold and fever. So for two, he got only aspirin, like only one medication he taken. For that, many, because due to many of adverse event, he taken concomitant medication. So that's why we kept many. The real ID will be like 2. Okay. So next domain will be supplementary domain, or we can call supplementary qualifiers. So this domain capture the if any extra or additional information which you cannot fit in any domain as per SDTM implementation guide, or that variables information we have to pass the subdomain. So for every domain we have subdomain. For DM will for DM is sub DM, for AE sub AE, for LB sub LB, like that for every domain supplementary domain will be there when the data is not suitable for in main domain. Okay. So structure will be one record for supplementary qualifiers per related parent domain records. Okay. So one record for supplemental qualifier per related parent domain records. So here variables will be study ID, R domain, unique subject ID, ID var and ID var value, qnum, qlabel, qval, qorigin, qeval. So here we can see example in sub DM. So one of the variable, that variable not suitable in DM domain. So as per SDTM implementation guide. So in that case, we need to capture the data in subdomain. So here you can see 101 subject that is belongs to DM domain. Okay. So ID var and ID var will be null because here we need to capture the sequence and sequence number details. Since the DM domain they don't have sequence number, right? So that these values will be null. Then qnum, the which variable? What is that variable not suitable in main domain? So this is the variable for 101 subject. So for this variable label, what label will be that? That label we need to capture here. So what is the value of this variable Brazilian? So which origin we collected the data CRF. Who evaluated that investigator? This is for only 101 subject. So one more subject also having some different variable like race other. So this like that we need to capture race other. The label will be race other. That QL will be Italian. The origin will be CRF and evaluation will be investigator. So here we can see one more example, like if same subject having multiple records. So here different. So here 101 subject is different, 103 subject different. In that case, individually we need to capture. So same subject having multiple, right? That time we have to capture the in this way. So study ID domain, R domain will be like same. ID var will be null. For qnum purpose, we need to capture the two variable values. So here both unique subject ID will be same. So qnum will be like 2 will be there, lay will be 2 and value will be 2. Then origin will be CRF, evaluation will be investigator. So next slide we'll see how to create the subdomain in parent domain. So while creating the subdomain, so we need to get the data from main data, some of the variables, what are the variables required that we need to keep. Like, so first we need to create a data sub AE, keep what and all variables required, study ID, domain, R domain, unique subject ID, ID var value, qnum, qlabel, qorigin, qeval from set AE final. So we need to get the data from AE final. Okay. So in so for that we need to create the each variable. So R domain will be, so that values. So anyway, this R domain not available in main domain. So we need to allocate. So for R domain, we need to capture the AE domain. So here, one of the variable not suitable in main domain. So that variable will be component in C. Okay. So for that code, we need to write if comp inc not equal to missing, then do. Qnum will be this variable AE component C. Label will be whatever this variable label. This is the variable qval. So that variable value. So whatever this variable will be there, right? That variable value we are going to allocate with the q value. So q origin, CRF and q value will be null. If available, we need to capture or else not required. So already I have told, right, for IDVAR and IDVAR will be always sequence and sequence number. Then output end. Output end. So this is the only for one variable. So so you want to create one more variables in the same domain means again you need to write instead of same code. Here we give an output, right? So this data will be captured. So one more variable also available. So in that case, same code we need to write. If SCRCOD not equal to missing, then do. Qnum will be that variable name and label will be that variable label. Qval will be that variable value. Origin will be CRF. Eval will be missing. If available, we need to capture. So IDVAR will be always sequence number and sequence number values output. So this is for AE domain. For two variables, we need to capture. Okay. So here I kept look like DM domain. So for DM domain also code will be like. So earlier I discussed that with example. So if race other not equal to missing, then do. Qnum will be that variable name. Label will be that variable label value. So what are the variables will be there? That values we need to allocate to QL. Q origin will be CRF and evaluation will be investigated. So always for subDM, IDVAR and IDVAR will be null. So this is the output end. So this data will be captured for one subject. So for same subject having one more variable, right? So in that case we have to write same code. Same like SCR not equal to missing, then do Qnum will be erase other, Q label, value, origin, evaluation, IDVAR will be null, output end. In this way we need to write the code. Okay. Thank you.